Ideally, industry will always like a light regulation. Right?
Soft regulation. But will that be good enough to actually implement the law in letter and spirit?
That's the point. That's a good point. Basically, because while that is always the ideal explanation, if there is a law that has to be implemented, and government has to regulate, right? Now, good thing about DPDP Act is it has not really prescribed licenses and all of that.
Okay.
It only said you need to obtain consent.
Okay.
Even for consent, because today, in an average human today in India has at least 30 apps on his phone. So there are so many consents he has to do, he needs to manage it. So there is this concept of a consent manager, which can all be tech enabled. So the government has been pretty careful about not to let itself over-regulate the way the wordings of both the law and rule. But another aspect the corporates would want is government doesn't go 100% in one go. They would like this be implemented in a gradual manner. Gradual could be probably some sectors are taken first and then implemented like that, instead of saying no, this will be implemented from day for everybody has to be, because for the simple reason corporates to get ready for this in some of the, because every aspect will be impacted. Like where I gave the employer-employee relationship. Today there are employers who are employing lakhs, and some of the IT companies are huge. 500,000 people are being employed by some of them, and everybody coming into this thing, they hand over all their personal information. Of course, for employment purposes you don't need consent, but once you take the data with you, then all other rights of an employee as a data giver or the data principal, like it has to be protected, it has to be used only for the specific purpose, it cannot be leaked out, it needs to be, and if there is a leakage, people need to be informed. All these rights exist. So the employer will need time to look at all, not that they are not doing it now, but here if you don't do it, the consequences, because the fine proposed could go up to 250 crores.
More.
Right? That is
the outer limit, but that's a big liability. Big liability.
So they need time to prepare. From that perspective, probably they will look at a gradual, stage-wise rollout, rather than saying, no, from tomorrow it's being implemented.
Okay.